This is episode number 1 of the Inventions Show.
So let's go. I follow, wherever you go, 'cause you're...
Hi everyone, welcome to the first ever episode of the Inventions Show, a podcast about all things invention and reinvention in life and business. My name is Tacklee, entrepreneur, international property investor, inventor, and the host of this show. I've got some really exciting things planned for the show, but firstly, I'd just like to say a big thank you for lending me your ear. Now, before I go into today's guest, who's an absolute talent in the music business and have racked up over 100 million views collectively just on a single song alone, I'd like to first of all tell you a little bit about me and why I started this podcast. Listening and watching plenty through the years, it's been something I've been thinking about, and to be honest, I don't know why. But when the opportunity presented itself to leverage off a fantastic platform, it's just something that needed to happen. So maybe it's a sign. So in the words of Richard Branson, screw it, let's do it. So my wife, Hoping, and myself have a startup company called TurnX, a travel lifestyle brand that we're about to launch in these very interesting times. We create innovative products that solves an ever-age problem of traveling with kids, stress and anxiety, and our target audience are families with kids. Now, from idea to conception till now, it has taken us about 16 months, and through this process, we've also been shortlisted for the coveted International Design Award by Red Dot. It has been both a challenging and exciting journey to date. Inventing a new product and also reinventing ourselves along the way. So I thought, wouldn't it be great to have a podcast that talks about all things invention and reinvention in both life and business, as in most cases, one leads to the other. A creation as a whole. So I just felt that it had to be done, and it was one of those pain points that we had, so here I am. Now, my vision for this show is to interview entrepreneurs, founders, influencers, and experts in the field, and for them to share how they come up with ideas, the reasons, the needs, challenges, and hopefully some insights that not too many people see. Even just to have a good laugh along the way, it's will be fantastic. As an expert in anything, I was once a beginner. So that's a little bit about me and my background of why I started this show. Now, I'm really pumped to be launching this podcast, so let's talk about today's guest and jump into it. Today, we've got a very talented guest, and I'm thrilled to have him on the show. His ability to connect through song is simply remarkable. A man with an incredible voice and beard, Marty Ray. Artist, singer, songwriter, actor, and producer. So here we go. So welcome, Marty, and thanks so much for being with us.
Thanks so much for having me. I appreciate y'all.
No, likewise. Now, the first thing I like to ask all my guests is, for those who are not familiar with yourself and your work, is can you please give us like a minute window or two into your background and life story?
People ask that a lot, and it's tough to answer that question in a minute, but if I had to put it in a minute, I guess I was born in Memphis, Tennessee, raised in Arkansas, come out of the womb singing. Had some people in my life saying I couldn't sing, and God had other plans, and I ended up singing anyway, and here I am today. I guess that's the minute version.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Now, I must ask you about your beard, Marty. How long have you had it, and have you ever thought about shaving it?
Oh, well, I think I've had this. We were actually looking at some old photos because I'm horrible with timelines and dates and things like that. So I don't really know the exact time frame that I've had this beard, but I will tell you that I looked at a picture not too long ago, and I had the beginnings of it 10 years ago. So I think I've been growing this for a decade.
It's looking good.
And you asked if I ever think about shaving, and I always say every time I eat, I think about shaving.
That's a good one. All right. Now, the first song I ever heard from yourself was when you did the cover of Ice Ice Baby. Instantly loved it. Now, that cover, I think, has racked up close to 6 million views on YouTube at the moment, and I'm sure many, many millions more through your other platforms. Now, I believe this cover has also led you to performing on tour with the Iceman himself. And did you
That's right.
expect the response you got from it?
No, I mean, if you go back to the first, I first posted that video. I'd already had some success. I posted a video probably a year, maybe less than a year before that one, and the video I did was a parody of All About That Bass, which was called All About That Beard.
Right?
And I did that, and then that got like 2 million views. So I was already building a fan base, and I wanted to be consistent. So one night, it was about 3:00 in the morning. I wasn't even posting to my Facebook page, only on my personal profile and my YouTube. And I remember it was 3:00 in the morning. I hadn't posted in a while. So I'd been messing around with Ice Ice Baby in the acoustic singing format that I did it in.
Mhm.
And I just made a video, and even in the caption, the original caption, I said, I don't know if anybody, will even like this or not, but I want to be consistent. So here's the way I've been doing Ice Ice Baby. So to answer your question, no, I didn't think at all that song now has hundreds of millions of views collectively, especially on Facebook. Like there's just one post alone that has 30 plus million views on it with that song. So it's really crazy. It's incredible. It's more of a credit to the song itself than to me, because that song has a life of its own, and it has a place that everybody knows. Ice Ice Baby. Everybody knows that song, and they know all these myths about it as well. Like, with Suge Knight and hanging Vanilla Ice off a balcony window and things like this that aren't true. But all these weird stories about Ice Ice Baby formed because of the gravity that the song had. So I think it's mainly due to the actual gravity that the song had, more than me. I didn't really do much besides just sing it, But yeah, so I did not expect it to do what it did, or to get a call from Vanilla Ice one day and him to say, I want you to come on tour with me. I definitely did not expect that.
That's awesome. And I'm pretty sure he also said it's the best version he's heard.
He did say that.
Yeah.
He said that on stage. He said, this is the best version I ever heard. And I said, man, he prefaced that with saying, I've heard every version of this song under the sun. Every version you can think of, from country to thrash metal or something like that. And then he said, this is the best version I ever heard. And I was like on stage going, that's a major attaboy.
Truly deserved, Marty. And then I can second, third, fourth that. It's tremendous what you've been able to do. Now, can you share how long have you been in the industry, and what's your biggest challenge to date?
How long have I been in the industry?
Yeah, in the music industry.
I'm not really in the industry. I'm in the business. There's two things. There's an industry, and then there's the business.
Yep.
Business is just a human being saying, I'm going to do music, and I'm gonna try my best to do it as a living. That's a music business. The industry are the labels. They're the industry, the Grammys and all. I'm not in that business. I'm not in that industry because I won't sign with a record label, and I don't want a record deal. So I'm not in the industry, but I've been doing music as a business for, I guess 7 to 8 years, probably, professionally, full-time type situation.
Yeah. No,
I would say
awesome.
entertainment more than music. Entertainment as a whole, I've been doing for about 8 years.
Oh, that's great. Now, you have over 1 million followers and counting across your social media platforms. And through the times and how you've been evolving and reinventing yourselves, have you seen any changes in terms of, the type of followers or Who are your biggest followers?
The type of followers, huh? Great question. I don't even know. What do you mean by the type of followers? What do you mean by that?
Like a certain age group, for example.
Oh, the
Yeah.
demographic.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I don't, be honest with you, I don't pay a lot of attention to the age of my fans to 100%. I know that YouTube has the analysis where the analytics where you can see the age groups. And I think my major age group is from 24 to 38 or something like that. I think that's where I fall mainly, but I don't know. I just anybody that likes my music and enjoys it and it's a fan is fine with me. I'm happy about it, you know.
Yeah.
But I haven't noticed any changes of okay, well now I'm starting to get a little more 50-year-olds or whatever. I haven't noticed that.
Well, I can tell you, Marty, my 4-year-old and 6-year-old loves your music, and so does my parents, and they're in the 70s. So there you go. That's your range, everyone.
I like that, from 4 to 70.
Yeah.
Somebody sent me a video actually of I've got a couple of videos of babies crying, and their babies will be crying, and then somebody will start playing my music, and the baby will stop crying immediately, and I'll go, man, that's amazing. That's like a gift right there to see that and to watch that to know that you're soothing a baby. It's pretty crazy.
Soothes the soul. Now, when you release, either covers or originals, Marty, do you try and tailor your music, to what's happening at the moment in terms of, the certain type, or do you just produce what's in your heart?
Well, originals are always whatever's on my heart. I wear my heart on my sleeve, and I do that through music. So whatever is on my heart, that's another reason why I don't want to be a part of a label, because I want to be able to write and sing whatever I want.
Yep.
So my albums are they're a modge podge of music. They're all over the place. So there might be rock and pop and EDM. It's all on the same album. So I kind of have the approach of, I don't know if any of your listeners will remember this, but back in the day, I used to make mix CD where the CD, I would burn songs to the CDs. Did you ever do that?
Yes.
Yeah. So I would burn songs to CDs, and when I would burn those songs, it wasn't just one genre. It wasn't just a country music or blues or gospel. It was everything that I had at that time that I wanted to hear driving down the road.
Yep.
So that's kind of how my music is, my originals. But as far as covers definitely have, unless it's just a cover that I love, like Ice Ice Baby or Let Her Cry, those type of legendary songs that meant something to me my whole life. Those are just going to be done, and there's several other songs like that will be done as well. But the fact that I think I'm peaking here. I'm trying to make is my voice too loud?
No, it's all good. It's all good.
I'm watching a meter here, and it looks like I might be peaking on you. I don't want to. I turned it down a little bit. Is that better?
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, so on the covers, it definitely is determined by two things: by the popularity of the song, and does the song move me or not?
Yep.
If it don't move me, I don't do it usually. If I can't make it move me in some way, then I'm not going to do it.
Amazing. Now, you've had many original hits, and released many, and I think you've released, correct me if I'm wrong, 3 albums to date, which is Expression, Not Perfection, Countryman, and Mixed Emotions. Now, it's awesome. Now, where does your creativity, ideas and drive come from in terms of what's your creative process when you're writing a song, and how do you know what music to make?
Well, like I said, I just it's always whatever's in my heart at the time. So if I'm if I'm sad, then I write a sad song. If I'm happy, then I try to write a happy song. It just comes out whatever is in the moment. And then there's thousands of songs that I have started, but I haven't finished. So when I get into a certain mood, then I end up finishing that song. Then that song goes on the album. That's kind of how it works.
That's awesome.
Sometimes the music comes first.
Yep.
Sometimes the lyrics come first. Sometimes the melody comes first. Just depends. Yeah.
And is there a hidden meaning to your music? You know, yeah.
I definitely write certain songs with spirituality in mind, like God is always, Jesus is always at the forefront of my mind. So you might hear things about him throughout every song I've ever written, but that I'm not going to say, hey, this is what this song means. This is what this song's about.
Yeah.
But because music is beautiful in that every song means what it means to somebody. That's what music is supposed to be. So people will ask me, well, what does this song mean? I say, whatever it means to you is what it means.
Yeah.
And that's the truth.
No, that's awesome. And has there been a favorite song, one of your originals that you have written to date? You know, you go, oh, I just love that one.
Which one?
Just from your opinion, is that for you? Yeah.
It's hard to say, you know, here's a favorite of my own song, because it's like saying I don't like all the rest of them. So it's tough to say.
Yep.
But the one I was most happy about after I finished it was written years ago. It's called Spirit Song.
Oh, yes. Love that one.
Yeah.
I was just listening to it the other day.
Was you really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's one of the ones that was one of the early songs that I wrote. And so when I finished writing that, I was amazed. I thought, man, maybe I have a chance at this. So I guess that one kind of has a special place. And plus the content of it, it means something to me as well. It's talking about Jesus. So it means a lot to me. And so I guess that one would be the one. Spirit Song.
Cool. Now I'm curious about the the initiative behind Marty Ray Project, and why it wasn't just Marty Ray, you know, the man, the singer, the beard. Why Marty Ray Project?
Originally, it was Marty Ray, and I was trying to build a band, and the band members. Originally, it was Marty Ray, and I was trying to build a band, and I was trying to get a record deal. That's what I was trying to accomplish. Those two things. I said, if I can get these two things, a dedicated band and a record deal, then I will have made it. I know I'll make it. So the band members kept changing. I would get some band members, and they would be there for a couple of shows, and then they would do other things, go off and not be available. So the band members started always rotating nonstop. So I never could get a dedicated band. And then the record deal, I spoke to a couple of record companies, Average Joe's and Sony, spoke to them, and they were just trying to, you know, give me pointers and tips on how to be. I had no fans at this time. So whereas now I could probably get a meeting with either one of those people now, and probably they would sign me in a heartbeat and take a lot of my money, you know. And but back then, when I thought I needed them, they didn't want me. So, but I'm sure now they would use me, you know. But so what happened is, through that, I said, well, there's never going to be a dedicated band. There's never going to, and I'm not going to sign a record deal either. I can tell you that's not going to happen. So this is becoming this is really becoming a project, an experiment, right? To see how far a man can go with a rotating band that's always different, and without ever signing a record deal. So that was where the project come from. So it's like it's a project, and it still is. How far can a man go? How far can a man go without ever signing a record deal and without ever having a dedicated band? They're always rotating. We'll see.
I love how you see life, Marty. I really do. Now, in these interesting times, where the whole world is pretty much in lockdown at the moment, there's a need for people to reinvent themselves and how things are done. I mean, I attended your live concert a few weeks ago. Now, that was simply incredible. Can you tell us a little bit more about that and like how you come up with the idea and your views of, maybe online concerts moving forward?
Well, I think any of my fans that go back far enough, they know that anybody that really knows me, they know my whole career was built on online.
Yep.
If it wasn't for online, I wouldn't have a fan base. You wouldn't know me. Never would have been at the JT Fox thing. None of that would have happened. So my whole existence in music was because of online, because of internet. Whereas others, and I respect them greatly, they go more grassroots, whereas they travel all over the world and they play all these shows all over the country, not really the world usually, but all over the country playing shows for pennies, and sometimes they get discovered and sometimes they don't. Matter of fact, 9 times out of 10 they don't. Thank God I didn't have to do that because I wouldn't have made it. I wouldn't have been able to do that, right? I have children, I have a wife, so I'm not going to give up my children and my wife and our relationship for music. I love music, and I know it's what God put me here to do, but I will not sacrifice my family for it, right? That's not going to happen. There's people that say, and you're in the business world, and so is JT Fox and all these people. They have this saying in that world, and it says you got to be willing to do anything, whatever it takes. They say these all the time. So I say the exact opposite. I say, no, you shouldn't be willing to do anything. You should not be willing to give up anything and everything for any kind of success. I would rather be broke and poor and be with my family than be a millionaire and be away from them. Because without my family, there's no reason to be successful.
Yes.
See? So when they say give up anything, do anything, it kind of bothers me in my spirit a little bit because I'm like, I'm not going to give up my family. I'm not going to give in to my morals. I'm not going to change my morals for success. I'm not going to do any of those things for music or anybody else because that is something, if you lose that, you've lost everything, in my opinion. So I say we should, yes, be willing to work hard. You must be willing to work hard, and you must be consistent and persistent. That's the key to really making it in any kind of business, is just staying on course. The problem is too many people will give up so quickly, and it don't even take much. So many people will get on a course, and as soon as it gets charted, they go, man, I'm going to make it. And if they don't make it within a year, they quit. They're done. They gave up. They're depressed. But they don't ever go and read the story of Nike, the story of Walmart. They don't go and read how long it took these people, how hard they worked to get there. They didn't give up everything for it, but they worked hard for it. It's a difference in working hard and being willing to give up everything. So I'm not a fan of, I'll always work hard but I won't give up anything. The fact of the matter is with the way the music industry has been, they want you to tour 150 dates a year, and they want, or plus 150 plus dates a year, and there's even a song about it that says, do you need your friends? Do you need your family? If you don't need those things, then I'll make you famous. And that's not me. So if this is as far as I can get with my fans and God behind me, then I'm fine with that. So be it.
No, I love it. Love your words, Marty. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
No. Now, I believe you have another online concert coming up shortly. Now, we have listeners from more than 90 plus countries, on this platform that's listening and watching. Where can our listeners tune in to basically your lives? And can you please tell a bit more about it?
So, I didn't really answer your question earlier, but I'll answer it in this.
Yep. No worries.
I'll package it in this because when you said that, I just remembered I never answered your question. I have a problem with that. I get on these little rabbit holes,
No, it's good. Go for your life.
So like I said, I've been doing lives online for a long time. Previously I was doing private online concerts where you would buy a ticket and things. When this hit, everybody started doing like lives on the Facebook, just holding a phone out. And I said, well, I've been doing that forever. Like, because I would go live on my Facebook page like this all the time. And so I said, man, I need to do something better than what I have been doing for the people at home. And it was like a divine thing. An old acquaintance of mine. Here's the thing. This is a definite tip that everybody should know. Never think that a meeting from years and years ago was just a happenstance, just a coincidence, that it's not really going to yield anything. Because I had a buddy that I met years ago named Jeremy Bird, and he's my buddy now. I met him one time years and years ago, and nothing ever happened, but we talked about this and talked about that. The coronavirus thing hits. He's involved with a bunch of bars in Nashville. And, of course, they can't play music. They can't do live music. They can't do anything. And he contacts me out of the blue, and he says, hey, I'm starting this live stream. I got the best cameras, the best sound systems, and I'm having people come in and play live shows, and you'd be great for it if you're interested in doing it. I said, I'm going to come out there and check out what you got going on. So I did. Turned out that he did have the best equipment. He did have the best situation. And I was like, let's do it. I said, I'm all in. Then he introduced me to this thing called MySet, which is an app that you download, and you can go and find whoever's live online. For now, it's really just online, but someday soon it'll be even when you're sitting in a bar. But anyway, it's called the MySet app, and he's involved in it. And you can click on, download it, and you can find Marty Ray Project, and you can go and bid on the songs that you want to make sure get played that night. So then everybody's bid. You can just like you say you want to make sure that you hear Ice Ice Baby. Then you bid $1 on that. Then somebody else says, I want to hear that too. $1. It just keeps making that song climb the list, so to make sure that one gets played. It is a great idea. Yeah. And so the events are now going through there, but that's not where you watch them. That's where you participate in the set list. You can watch them from my Facebook page, Marty Ray Project, or my YouTube channel, Marty Ray Project. And I think maybe from Instagram this time, but I'm not sure. But mainly from Facebook and YouTube.
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
May 23rd.
Remember that one, guys. Bookmark it. I highly recommend it. Yeah. So, Marty, quick one. What superpower do you wish you had?
I wish I could read super fast. That's the truth. I said that the other day to somebody. I was like, man, imagine being able to read just like how you see these robots or aliens in movies and they comprehended it all. Mm-hmm. Not really necessarily the reading, but more of the reading and comprehension of it. I would like to be able to go through a book in minutes and just know everything that book said.
Well, that's
awesome. That'd be a great superpower to have.
That's an awesome one. That's an awesome. I haven't heard that one before, so there you go. Now, what would your theme song be during your time in quarantine?
My theme song? Yeah. I just released a song I just wrote a song with my buddy, Chris Wallen, who is a hit songwriter. He wrote a lot of hit songs. Mm-hmm. And we wrote a song together called Stimulus Check Blues.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And that's actually on YouTube and stuff if these people want to look it up. But
yep.
And if you want to look it up, I don't know if you've seen that or not yet. But it's talking about how everybody got their stimulus checks and I didn't get one and he didn't get one and we ain't getting one and and all that stuff. So it's like I'll just sing a little bit of it. Well, my stimulus check never came at all. Wonder why they gotta do that to me for. My friends got jet skis and trailers to haul. One got a 80-inch TV installed. But ain't nobody sending me nothing. Ain't nobody sending me nothing. It's just, and then, and then there's verses and stuff in there. But it's just talking about how you got all these people.
That's awesome.
It's a funny song. You got all these people talking about showing all the things that they have bought with their stimulus money.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. Now, we have to work towards wrapping up, and super mindful of your time, Marty. Incredible conversation and chat. Really appreciate your honesty and openness. 2 last questions. First is, where can people find out more about you and yourself and your work? And second is, do you have any parting words or wisdom that you'd like to share with for anyone watching or listening?
Okay, so people can find me first. It's at Marty Ray Project everywhere. And ideally, people would go to my website, martyrayproject.com, and they would join my mailing list. That's what everybody should be trying to build, is a mailing list now, so that you're not hindered by algorithms. As far as a wisdom of I'm not a wise man, but the Bible says, if any man lacks wisdom, let him ask God, who giveth to all men liberally and upbraideth not, and he shall have it. So I do ask for wisdom daily. And few things that come to my mind are: be content in what you have, be thankful for all that you have, but don't be complacent, right? Don't sit there and be. You can be happy, but be happy with what you have, but don't be satisfied forever. Don't just see I'm good, not achieving anything else. I'm fine with that. I think people should be creating every day. We were created to be creators. So the image we were created in is the image of a creator. We're creators. So we are to be creating every day. And the last thing I'll say is, there was a quote that I actually thought of years ago. Somebody might have already said it, I don't know, but I thought of it and I wrote it in my quote book. And it goes, everything that you have now is everything that someone else ever wanted.
Wow.
So
powerful.
The fact that if people will really understand that, because everybody wants what everybody else has.
Yeah.
But if people could really just sit and think about how much they have, how much they've been given.
Yep.
And there's so many other people, and it just goes all the way down to the poorest of poor. Even the homeless people on the street of America, there's people that are homeless in India that would love to be homeless in America. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you get a lot of help here. So I'm just saying, always know that what you have is everything that somebody else ever wanted, and you should be thankful for it. That's all I would say. Amazing.
That's truly amazing. Awesome, Marty. Thanks again, and really appreciate your time to be with us today. If you could please just stay on the line for a couple more minutes, Marty, after I stop this recording. So I had a quick chat to you with regards to the music video. So, all right, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this interview. You can find me on social media. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Cheers. Thanks, Marty.
YOLO, YOLO, it's our show. Oh, there's one thing we know with all our cargo, it's turning our hero.